Hello and welcome to yet another improvised review on Inside Number 9 Series 6. Today we are reviewing Episode 5, How Do You Plead? First off, this kind of felt a bit weird being Episode 5, because think about it, usually Episode 6 was more revolved around these darker themes and whatnot, like for example, Series 1 was the harrowing and that was revolving around demons, or Series 4 was Tempting Fate and that was revolving around curses. But are we sure this was meant to be Episode 5 and not Episode 6? Because it felt like Episode 6. Anyways, I'm rambling here. So first off, I think I'm going to have to start with the direction of this episode. It feels very dark and gothic and very moody, and I like it. And of course, this is due to Guillermo Morales, and he's a wonderful director when it comes to Inside Number 9, as he's also provided most of the best episodes in direction. But aside from that, we also got to talk about performances. And first off, I want to talk about how Steve Pemberton's character was used. Because at the start, he's not really there. Like, he's only there for, like, a few scenes and whatnot. Only, like, a few lines of dialogue. And that's it until the ending. And I just think it's very intriguing on how he's placed. Like, of course, this is Steve Pemberton. He's one of the creators of the show. And you're thinking, he's not just going to have, like, such a minor role in this. And, of course, he comes up at the end, but during the most of the episode, it's revolving around these two characters, this aging old man and his nurse. And speaking of, we have Derek Jacobi in this episode, and he is the only Inside Number 9 actor to appear twice in the show, I think, because he was also in The Devil of Christmas, providing the voice of Dennis Fulcher. I think it's fairly intriguing in how in all the performances he's been, it's always rolling around demons and devils and whatnot. But aside from that, I think the relationship between, Webster, and also Urban, his nurse, was very interesting. You know, it was kind of like a, not a master-slave dynamic, but, you know, like an aging old man who's slowly telling this young'un his secrets. And, of course, this revolves around the episode's plot, where it's just telling us he has something to hide, alright? And he's made a deal with the devil, essentially, and literally, in fact, as it comes to the end. But also, I kind of like how light is involved in this episode. You know, as the episode goes on, every scene gets darker and darker and darker, reflecting this old man slowly dying, you know, and until the devil shows up, essentially, or another demon, we don't know. And there's also an intriguing feature there where, of course, Webster's name is a reference to the devil and Daniel Webster, and I thought that was fairly interesting, you know? But aside from that, I think that's all to be said about How Do You Plead. It was a good episode, and I did enjoy it, mostly due to the directing and the performances, and I thought it was a solid episode. Tune in next week for the final improvised review, and the final episode of Inside Number 9 Series 6. Hope to see you then.